Hi, we are going to talk about how to write equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. Let's start with parallel lines. All you need to know is that parallel lines have the same slope. It's as simple as that. When you do the problems, let's start with these. Determine if the lines given here are parallel. So what we need to do is see if the slope is the same. So what can we tell about this line? This line has a slope 3. You can easily identify that. The other one is in standard form. We're going to have to rework on this one. So we're going to take this. We're going to subtract 6x on both sides. We're going to get negative 2y equals 6x negative 6x plus 14. Negative 6x plus 14. Divide both sides by negative 2. And we have y equals 3x plus minus 7. Same slope. They are parallel. Alright. How about these two lines? Well, we do the same thing. Subtract 2x here. We're getting negative 3y equals negative 2x minus 4. Divide by negative 3. And we have y equals 2/3 x plus 4/3. This number is irrelevant, by the way. What are we getting here? I'm just going to add 6x. Add 6x. We have negative 9y equals 6x plus 45. We're going to divide both sides by negative 9. And we have y equals negative 2/3 x minus 5. Well, these two slopes are not the same. One is positive 2/3, the other one is negative 2/3, so they're not parallel. An equation of a line that passes through a given point is parallel to the line y equals negative 2x plus 3. So if it's parallel, I usually call it our slope is going to be the same, which is negative 2, and there's a point, so point slope form, y minus y1, negative 4, plus equals negative 2, x minus x1, so y plus 4 equals negative 2x plus 2, y equals negative 2x minus 2. Next line, the point, the slope is going to be our slope. Here is going to be the same. We have parallel lines. Point, slope, y minus negative 1 equals 1/2 times x minus negative 2. So y plus 1 equals 1/2 times x plus 2. Y plus 1 equals 1/2 x plus 1. And y equals 1/2 x. Write an equation of a line that passes through negative 2, negative 1 and is parallel to the line y equals 4. Well, so it's a little different and you need to know this. So y equals 4 is a line that is going to be horizontal. So if you parallel to a horizontal line, you're going to have another horizontal line. And all horizontal lines have equations in the form y equals a number, and our number is going to be negative 1. This is our y coordinate, so y equals negative 1. That's all you need to do for this problem. An equation of a line that passes through negative 2, negative 1 and is parallel to the line y equals negative 7. Parallel to the vertical line. Parallel to a vertical line will be another vertical line. Its equation is going to be x equals, you pull the x coordinate, x equals negative 2. Yes, simple as that. Alright, so what do we need to know about perpendicular lines? Their slopes are what they call opposite reciprocals of each other. That means when you multiply them, it's going to give you negative 1. First, let's see if we can determine if these lines are perpendicular. We clearly see the slope here is 3. So this equation we need to solve for y. We get negative 6y equals negative 2x minus 12. Divide everything by negative 6. So we have y equals 1/3 x plus 2. This is not opposite reciprocal, because if I multiply 3 times 1/3, I'm getting positive 1. So these lines are not perpendicular. How about this next one? Well, we need to solve each one of them for y. Let's start with this one. Negative 3y equals negative 4x plus 9. Divide everything by negative 3. We have y equals 4/3 x minus 3. Okay, let's see what we're getting here. So subtract 6x, subtract 6x. That is giving us 8y equals negative 6x plus 40, which gives us, if we divide everything by 8, it's going to give us y equals negative 3/4 x plus 5. So what we have here is our slope here is 4/3, here is negative 4/3. 4/3 times negative 3/4. That is going to give us negative 1. This is what we want. These lines are perpendicular. Okay, so what you're trying to do is to see if they're opposite reciprocals, but you can recognize opposite reciprocals, which we're going to talk about this next. It's going to be like if you take this number and flip it and change the sign, you're going to get that number, and vice versa. So these are what we call opposite reciprocals. Write an equation of a line that passes through 3, 4 and is perpendicular to the line, then y equals negative 3x minus 1. So our slope here, since we have perpendicular lines, our slope will have to be the opposite reciprocal of negative 3. What's the opposite reciprocal of negative 3? So you have negative 3 over 1. Opposite reciprocal there will be positive 1/3. Flip and change the sign. So now you have a point and the slope. Y minus 4 equals 1/3 x minus 3. Y minus 4 equals 1/3 x minus 1. Y equals 1/3 x plus 3. And we're done. Write an equation of a line that passes through this point and perpendicular to that line. So our slope would have to be the opposite reciprocal of this slope. This slope is 3/2. Our slope will be, we flip it and we change the sign, it will be negative 2/3. Now we have a point and the slope. Y minus 1 equals negative 2/3 x minus negative 6. Y minus 1 equals negative 2/3 x plus 6. Y minus 1 equals negative 2/3 x minus 2/3 times 6 will give us divide by 4, and y equals negative 2/3 x minus 3, and this problem is done. Alright, last thing we're gonna do here, no, we still have this, hold on, getting ahead of myself. An equation of a line that passes through this point and perpendicular to this line. So if you're perpendicular to this is a horizontal line. If you're perpendicular to a horizontal line, your line will be vertical. This equation has y equals negative 2. Our equation will be x equals, we pull the x coordinate, x equals 2. If a line is perpendicular to a horizontal line, the line will be vertical, and vice versa, which should help you with 12. An equation of a line that passes through 2, negative 6 and is perpendicular to the line x equals 3. This is a vertical line. That means our equation will be an equation of a horizontal line. Y equals negative 6. And now the last two problems we're going to do here, they are going to deal with determining from the given lines which lines are going to be parallel, perpendicular, or neither. And they are all given to us in standard form, which means we're going to have to solve each one of them and figure out what the slope is, because that's the only way we can determine that. So let's start with this first line. You subtract 2x, gives you negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 9. Then we divide by negative 3. You have y equals, that's going to give us 2/3 x minus 3. The second line, 4x plus 6y equals negative 12. Solving that for y, 6y equals negative 4x minus 12. Divide by 6, you have y equals negative, you divide this is 2/3 x minus 2. Okay, so far these two lines are not perpendicular or parallel. So let's see what's going to happen with the third line. Negative 8x plus 12y equals 36. We're getting rid of x here, so it's going to give us 12y equals 8x plus 36. Divide both sides by 12. Y equals 8 divided by 12 will give you, if you divide them both by 4, that's going to give you 2/3 x plus 2. So these two lines, this one and this one, they happen to have the same slope. That means they're parallel. What about this line? No, nothing. It's not parallel, not perpendicular to them. It just has a different slope that we can't do anything with. So in this case, the first one and the third line were parallel. Let's do the same thing here. We're solving both equations. I mean, all three equations for y. So we have 4y equals negative 3x plus 8. It gives us y equals negative 3/4 x plus 2. That's the first line. Second line, we have 12x minus 16y equals negative 32. We divide everything out. Hold on, first we're going to rewrite that in this form. Equals negative 12x minus 32. Divide everything by negative 16. That's going to give us y equals, that's going to give us 3/4 x plus 2. So far nothing. These two lines just have different slopes, right? 12 divided by 16 gives us this 3/4. And the last line, 8x plus 6y equals negative 12. 6y equals negative 8x minus 12. Divide by 6, y equals, this is going to give us 4/3. Divide both of them by 2, so negative 4/3 x minus 2. So these two lines here, this one and this one, their slopes, I'm sorry, opposite reciprocals. These two lines are perpendicular. Okay. This is how you do these types of problems. I hope this helps.